What is the dumbest thing you've ever seen a man do to prove their manhood? Jump off a balcony onto an uneven, rocky hillside. The first time he did it, he only got a few scrapes. Second time, he broke his leg and wouldn't admit he needed medical attention until 24 hours later when he passed out from the pain. Knew a dude who said oven mitts are for pussies and then proceeded to grab a hot pizza tray out of the oven barehanded. Try to ride an alligator. Snort paprika. I remember a tourist local fought a crocodile once to get a girl's number. He lost, but somehow the girl still agreed to a date. Refused to say the word selfie. Dude called it a selfus because selfie sounded too girly. Light his balls on fire. Shoot a bottle rocket out of his ass crack. Trying to outdrink his friends. It just turns into a bunch of dudes all drinking more than they can handle and ruining their night and sometimes ruining everybody else's night too. Propose to a woman who doesn't love him back because she said he isn't man enough for commitment. Slightly tangential, but still relevant. Boot camp and we were doing our fitness test, had to run a mile and a half best effort, usual army bullcrap. I'm not much of a runner, but I can pass the test fine. Heading into the final stretch and a girl from our sister troop started pulling past me. My sergeant starts screaming at me, Saxafu, you're not going to let a fucking girl beat you. Yeah. She's a damn good runner. I carried on at my pace, finished the test, and passed with plenty of time to spare. Sergeant pulls me aside and gives me a proper barlicking about letting the troop down, embarrassing myself, etc. I just let him yell and promised myself to never think like that. 20 years later, and I still wouldn't give a flying frick if a girl beat me in any fitness test. This one kid at my old school ate a bee to prove he wasn't scared of them. The I'm not cold guy and his cousin, the sunblock is for pussies guy. The former likes to stand around outside in the snow in just a t-shirt and shorts, making fun of men dressed properly for winter. The later thinks real men aren't afraid of sunburns or skin cancer and ridicules men that use sunblock. Both are equally stupid. Remember that solar eclipse we had a while ago? Like 3-ish years ago? Yeah, an idiot that I know thought he was tough enough to stare at it. No, it wasn't Trump. I didn't know he did that. And no, you're not creative or clever for suggesting that after the last 30 people have already brought it up. Get branded. Purposefully get kicked in the nuts. I remember when I was in college, frat boys played this game called Rochambeau, where two guys squared off and each took a turn kicking the other in the nuts. Whoever lasted the longest won. https://yow2 b/d0h1rsbmlkm. Coming from a server, man literally said he didn't need or want help. Maybe he didn't want to share the tip? Who knows bro. Anyway, carried 15 drinks on one tray with 2 full coffee pots and broke every single glass. Did not see that man after that shift. Tried to do this all with one hand. I knew of a dude in the army that dangled his testicles over a fire ant hill in Fort Benning, Georgia. Those fire ants will kill a mouse or a lizard instantly. He was hospitalized for a long time and did not finish training with us. One time, we were running a mile in gym class, and I was one of the few to finish first. But while I was running to the finish line, a boy started sprinting to the finish line. He was chanting, "I'm not going to lose to a girl." He ran past me and beat me to the finish line by like 4 seconds. This was in high school too. Break out of a cornstalk maze. We were on a family outing sponsored by the moms group I attended. We were wandering around for a while with the 3 kids, as you do. Our kids were running around, having fun in the maze, and with the other families there that we knew. My ex-husband seems to think the agenda is to solve this puzzle and he's impatient for us, our 2 mid-sized boys and our preschooler, to get through as quickly as possible. Out of nowhere he gets the crazy eyes and announces that he's going to get out of here no matter what. He spots some electrical poles and wires and breaks through the corn stalks until he hits the road and walks to the parking lot. So yeah, a silly fall corn maze offended his sense of self. I don't miss him at all. Light his arm on fire with lighter fluid. He had to have skin grafts. Crap his pants. He wanted to show he was a real man by farting and wheel. It wasn't just a fart. That weird alpha male bullcrap that some dudes do. My first boyfriend was like this in a pretty extreme way, but what really took the cake was it even extended to animals. One of my cats did not like anyone other than my mom and I, and he just wouldn't accept that. I'd tell him to just leave the cat alone and things would be fine, but he insisted on trying to interact with it. This always resulted in the cat scratching and hissing, so his response was to instead purposefully annoy the cat and then snicker at its growling. This quickly made the cat hate him, and it would get pretty vicious towards him, drew blood a few times. One day the cat scratched his face pretty bad, and he basically demanded we get the cat declawed. Obviously this caused an argument, and I remember this moment of feeling dumbstruck. BC he was literally arguing that the cat was disrespectful. Fortunately my mom disregarded him completely. Lol. I hate to say it about the man in my own family, but it's the truth, and that shoot huge firearms without earplugs, weld without a respirator, paint in the old days, when house paint contained lead, lose their sense of smell, because they worked in a water treatment plant with chlorine, siphon gas back in the day when it still contained lead, change oil back in the day with bare hands soaked in engine oil, break open car batteries without gloves or goggles, etc. Mind you, it wasn't intentional, but my grandparents and great-grandparents grew up in a time before OSHA safety regulations and have a tendency to look down on us, my generation, when we try to practice safety nowadays. I had a friend, not really a friend, but ran in my social circle, who wasn't really a bad guy, but was definitely a bit spoiled because he didn't work while in uni and had a car that his parents bought for him, etc. However, he had an annoying habit of trying to be alpha or whatever and would always start arguments when we went out to bars and such. Usually people would just back off and he'd act all triumphant, as if to say he sure showed them. One night in particular he got into it with this black guy and was provoking him. The black guy brushed it off initially, but he kept annoying him. Eventually it became a back and forth until he asked the black guy if he wanted to take it outside. He agreed. I make my way outside too because I sure as heck ain't missing this. The two of them start circling and stuff, and the dude throws the first punch and hits the black guy pretty square on the face, but he doesn't even flinch, just returns a 3-punch combo and knocks him to the ground and starts wailing on him. Eventually a couple of us pull him off saying he's had enough. The dude starts ugly crying with a bloodied face, while his girlfriend cleans him up, looking really annoyed, while we call a cab for them both. I'm pretty sure he did this crap all along to try and impress her, but I'm guessing this is the first time he'd been punched in the face. I feel bad for him in a way, but he did have it coming. Not wear a seatbelt. Second-hand story. Drinking gallons of lemon juice. Dude lowered his blood pH so low because of the acidity of the lemon juice that he went into a coma. Get knocked out on purpose. Read about this guy a few years ago. Light his leg on fire with Axe body spray and sustained 3rd-degree burns as a result. We all just talked crap, how stupid he was. But he wanted to show us how dangerous he was. It was funny, I will say that. I did laugh until I fell to the ground because he panicked and flailed after he lit himself on fire and jumped over a fence for no reason. There was absolutely no reason to jump a chain link fence to put out a fire. Then he complained for like 2 weeks how bad his leg hurt. Like no freaking crap, dumbass. Thank you for watching the video. Tell us your stories in the comments below. See you soon.